Hi, you guys. All right. Boy, I'm on a roll tonight. Okay, so we're working on journals. We're making journals. And I have decided I'm going to do at least 12. I think I'm going to do, I might wind up doing all of these, but let me see. How many do I have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 14, 16. I thought I had 18, but anyway, so I got 16. I have prepared so much paper and so many tags and stuff. I might go ahead and actually prep a few more covers. While I'm doing it, I might as well. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so I thought I would just kind of show you guys the covers real quick. So there's that one, and then it's pretty, I'm kind of going with like nature, just general sort of botanical, naturey type of theme, I guess. Just, stuff I like, basically. That's what I'm doing. Stuff I like. And yeah, so these are the covers. They're all pretty basic on the inside, and so they've all got the fabric, and then some decorative sort of stitching on the spines too. These ones are kind of, I don't know, these are sort of my favorite. I like that pattern on them, and they've got a little bit of a texture too. And then this kind of grayish one with the pink inside. And some I used some feed sack fabric on, sort of coordinated, This one's kind of pinky rose color. This is probably one of my favorites right here. I love this one. And where this fabric kind of, bends around, I'll wind up gluing that down. This one is really cool. I love this one. It's really pretty. The leaves. I picked up quite a few more Reader's Digest, so, I don't know. It depends. I might do some more. I'm not sure. This might be enough. This might just be enough. I like that, like teal and pink together. And then this one is the last one. All right. So those are the covers. Just thought I would kind of run through those with you real quick. So here's where I'm at. I have prepped tons of paper, okay, to use in these journals. And so basically where I'm at right now is I'm going to sort this stuff out. And I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about my method of doing multiple journals, how I sort of keep that organized, right, without getting overwhelmed. So, excuse me. So I have a few different like categories that I put this paper into. So as I prep paper, I get them all folded and cut down and, folded how I want them. And then I just rubber band them together. Okay. So then they go into a pile. Different types of papers get used for different things in journals, right? So this is the paper that I printed the kit on. Okay. The kit from Tracie's shop. And so I printed these all on a cream cardstock, and then a lot of them I printed that grid on the back. Okay. So this is, since it's cardstock, this is going to be like a guard page on signatures. I decided I'm going to do 5 signatures in each journal. I like to do odd numbers. I just think it works out better. I could do 3, but I don't want my signatures to be so thick that it's a hassle when it comes to stitching them together. I'm telling you, it's way easier to just go ahead and do more signatures, fewer pages in each signature, than it is to do less signatures with more pages. You would think it wouldn't be, but I'm telling you, it's way easier. And honestly, it's a lot less stress to just go ahead and do like 5 or even 7 signatures, really. It just saves yourself a lot of headache. So anyway, so these are going to get kind of sorted out into different types. So I've got paper that is just plain, doesn't have any, print or patterning or anything like that. That's going to just go in one pile. Okay. So this is actually, I'll talk to you about some of the different papers as I go. This is actually, if you remember seeing the bank ephemera that I got, and a lot of it came in these big like storage boxes. This is the paper that was the dividers in those boxes. So they've all got like tabs on them. Okay. So I really wanted to use some of that paper. It's kind of cool. It's got like, you can see the fibers in the paper, anyway, and I like the color. So anyway, so I have those are kind of plain. And then this is just a whole stack of, these are all like blank pages, like end papers from books. When I gut books out, I always save the blank end papers. Okay. Just, might as well save them, and then these all just got folded in half. Some of them may need to be trimmed a little bit, narrower or whatever. And so, you wind up with little like stamps and pricing and sometimes notes and things like that. But it's nice to do that because you get lots of different textures, lots of different tones, lots of different qualities of paper and different sizes. You know what I mean? It's just nice variety. Okay. So this is all, there isn't any print or anything on the inside of these either. All right. So that's what these are. And so those are going to go into that pile with just plain paper. This is avocado dyed 24-pound printer paper. So this is, this is going to go in that pile also. There's some glassine paper. I bought some just glassine paper. I wanted to see about making my own envelopes and stuff like that. I've never done it. I just use the paper. So this is glassine paper. And then this is paper that you would, that they use like when they sell like fish and chips and stuff. It's almost like wax paper, but it's kind of like glassine. It's like a cross between glassine paper and onion skin paper. And it comes in a big triangular shape. So when I cut it down to the size that I wanted or that I needed for the journals, I wound up with this one corner cut off. So I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool and kind of quirky. So that goes into the plain paper pile. And then I've also got, this is just some old like stationery. It's green. I don't know if you can tell. And then this is another stationery paper. It's kind of like deckled on the edges a little bit. And then so that goes in there. This is, I don't remember what that is. And then this is just plain cream cardstock that I cut down. This is some more of that deckled stationery. This is another stationery that's kind of green. And it's got like a texture, almost like a wood grain kind of texture. So that stuff all kind of got prepped at the same time. So it just went into the same rubber band. Okay, so that goes into the plain paper pile. And then also, this is craft paper, but it's actually like packing paper that I bought on Amazon. So it's a real lightweight craft paper, and I just love it. It's really cool. It comes in a few different sizes, and you get 480 sheets, and you can get it in like 20 by 30, which I got a box of, and then I think this was the 15 by 20 or something. So anyway, and that's easier to deal with because I always wrap my journals in wrap like in craft paper when I send them to customers. So that's what I use that paper for, but it's also kind of nice to use in journals. And I don't know, I love craft paper. So this is also going in the plain paper pile. Okay. And then oh, this is like this is like an onion skin paper. I think it's more I'm not sure. I don't know if it's onion skin or not. I don't think it is, but it's really cool. It's got that red margin. So that goes in the plain paper pile too. This pile is gigantic. Okay. I don't think there's anything else that goes in there. And then I have the like grid paper, ledger paper, lined papers, things like that. Okay. Because I like to alternate things in the signatures, right? I don't want to have like all of the plain papers together and then, you know, so I like there to be a variety as you're turning the pages. Okay, so this is just some plain like 1/4 inch or 4 to a square, you know, 4 to an inch graph paper. This is paper from a stamp collecting book. So it's got a grid too. I think it's 8 to an inch. And then this is actually like graph paper too. It's more like accounting kind of grid paper, though I have a ton of it. So I use it in every single journal. Okay, so that goes in that pile. And then I have book pages. So anything that is, you know, pages that I pulled out of a book that has print or even just images, that goes into a different pile. So like this is like a just like a fern identification book. And then this is another nature book, just butterflies. That goes in that pile too. Some sheet music or music pages. Okay, that's going in that pile. This is from a children's book. I didn't want to cut these down because I thought, you know, a lot of the images are cool. And so I just kind of folded them all in a little bit. So those will be like fold out pages. Okay, so those all go into the book page pile. And then there's a whole bunch of, these are like from my favorite like botanical books. So some of these are folded in half and then you know, the other half is like part of it's folded in also. Some of them were single pages and I just, you know, put them like sideways and folded them in half. So, okay, so there's a stack of those. And then this is another, just another like gardening book. So there's, I did wind up trimming these off on the edges. I don't like to have too many pages where I fold in the page because I don't like to add too much bulk at the edge of the pages. And then this, what was this? Oh, I had a couple of how to draw like birds, how to draw trees, some of those like big oversized art books. And so that I just got like a couple days ago. Tomorrow, I didn't have these when you asked me about it before. Anyway, so I cut the pages out of those and I'm using those in these journals. This is a horticulture magazine. I just, you know, tore a bunch of pages out of that, cut that up. And then just for variety and interest, I used some pages from a vintage typing book just because, you know, it's stuff that I like. This is some French documents that I've scanned and printed off on really nice like resume paper. So some of them were just so light you could barely see, but I like the texture and the color and stuff that came through. So so I've just trimmed those off. I printed grid on the back of them and then I just trimmed the border to fit nicely in my journals. Okay, so there's a bunch of those. And then I went through ledgers and pulled pages from 4 or 5 different ledgers. So we've got, these are from the general store ledger from the 1870s. Okay, so I cut a bunch of that up. And then this is from the bank one. So I used a bunch of pages out of that one. Some of these I folded in. I folded in the edges because I didn't want to waste any of that paper. So I did do that with the bank one. And I have tons more of this paper. If anybody wants another bank ephemera pack, I've got tons more. So if anybody is interested, I've got lots of this ledger left. I have like that much left. And then a giant tub full of like the letters and checks and all that kind of stuff. So if anybody wants banking ephemera from like 1910, 1911, send me an email and let me know. And I'll send you an invoice. This is from another ledger that I got that is like banking stuff. This was their like collections ledger. It was all blank. So I hoarded all of that. I kept all of it. So there's that one, and I like it. It's a different kind of color. It's a little more like yellowy, you know. And then this is another ledger that was gigantic. I actually showed it on a video when I was showing you guys a whole bunch of ledgers that I had. So there's a bunch of paper from that one too. Anyway, so ledger paper. Okay, so that stuff all sort of goes in the same, oh, excuse me. That goes with the lined and grid paper. Okay. Yeah. So there's like book pages and stuff, and then there's lined and grid paper. Oh, and this goes with the lined and grid paper because I printed that grid on the back. Okay, that's why that goes there. Then I've got pages that I would consider pocket pages. Okay, so I haven't done too many for these journals. I did a couple different types, but I don't like to put more than one pocket page in each signature. So since I'm doing 5 signatures, I figured, okay, I'll do like 2 pocket pages per journal. And then in one of the signatures, I'll include like a paper bag. And then in 2 of the other ones, I'll do an envelope, you know? So that's kind of how I think, right? So I know I needed at least 16 pocket pages. This was actually a diary, like a, you know, a floral daily diary type of book. Okay. So it's everything in here is like botanical and stuff. Some of the pages were formatted horizontal, some were vertical as far as the images. So some of the pages wound up being vertical and some of them are more horizontal. So I've got pocket pages, and then this is another pocket page that I made, just pretty simple. I made a bunch of like tall, skinny tags, and so I wanted to make some pockets for those, and I just wanted to do them as easily as I could. And so I just used a piece of 12 by 12 Tim Holtz paper, cut it to 6 inches, and then I folded the end over, did a little simple collage on it, and then just stitched it. Okay, so instead of this being like a fold out, it's actually a pocket now. Okay, and I did the little notch. So some of them are actually a little bit taller. So those are just 2 different pocket pages. These are the end pages, the end papers from the actual Reader's Digest books. So these go with the plain papers. This is more, oh, this is like offcuts from the divider pages that I showed you initially, the first ones I showed you with the little tabs. So these are the offcuts. So I saved those, so we'll use those. And then my mom had my whole box of origami paper that she returned to me the other day, and I was like, oh wow. I forgot I had all that. So I pulled out a whole bunch of origami paper and just, you know, it was all 6x6. So I folded a lot of them just in half, and I think those will be cool to use as pages. You know, I mean, they don't have to be a full page, right? They can be smaller. And then some of them I folded kind of off center. So they've got like a little, just a little short piece, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those, but, you know, I might wind up just, you know, gluing an image on it or something. I don't know. I might not include all of these pages in the journals, but I had actually folded up a whole bunch of it. So I kind of think I have some extras, and I'll show you these other ones that I did actually stitch some extensions onto. And then these are some of the origami papers that I just folded them like corner to corner. Okay, so there'll be some pages like this in the journals too, which I thought is kind of cool. So there's those, and then some more origami paper that where I just stitched a book page onto that skinny side. Okay, just really simple. Yeah, these just have oh, and then a couple of I actually stitched another page to it, so I got like a pocket right here, and I don't know, I wasn't 100% happy with that, but so I didn't do a ton of those. But that's, you know, that's an option for you know, if you want to use origami paper, you know, you could do that. And then these are just some odd pieces from the dividers, and then also offcut pieces from the craft paper when I cut that down to size. So I wanted to make sure I didn't waste that. I mean, I hate wasting it, you know. And then I just stitched a, you know, like a shipping tag on some of them. These are some offcuts from the ledger, stitched a, you know, guidebook page on there. Just some random stuff. So this will just go into the signature and get stitched in, and it'll just be a little page like that. So I just did a bunch of just kind of random stuff like that. Did some, you know, library things, and just pull the sewing machine out. So this was actually the spine of the ledger, and where I was cutting the paper off, I wound up with just this little strip, and I just seriously, I did not want to waste it, so I just made it into a larger, like a wider page, right? And I don't have to throw that away, because ledger paper is like precious, right? So anyways, yeah, so I just kind of played around one day doing that, made a bunch of those. So these, since they're sort of like altered or whatever, they kind of all go in the same like category, I guess. I just want to make sure that I include at least one of each of these, this one and this one, in each journal. So those are going into the patterned pile, the pattern paper pile. Okay, so that's kind of what that is. And then this is just scrapbook paper. You know, I went through all my scrapbook papers, pulled out anything that was sort of botanical or green or pinks and things like that. Just papers that I liked. Some more just scrapbook paper. And these are just those ones from Joann's, you know. I think I've gone through like 4 or 5 of this stack of this paper, but I just love it. I don't know. It's really nice, and it's heavy. It's a nice heavy weight of just paper without being cardstock. And then here's some more. Here's some more of those. Okay. So then that's kind of just like patterned papers, right? Without being book pages. So it's like scrapbook paper, origami paper, that sort of thing. My pocket pages, those are separate. And then these are the pages that I want to use as the guard. I call them guard pages. They're kind of like a heavier paper that is like the first page on your signature. It kind of holds everything together. Okay. And I like to use a heavier paper on that because a lot of times I'm going to add a tab onto it. And so I want it to be sturdy enough to support like stitching on the edge and the weight or the use. If somebody is, you know, like if I attach a charm on the tab, or if somebody actually uses the tab to turn the page and stuff, I want that to be a sturdy kind of paper, right? I wouldn't want to put a tab on, you know, like glassine paper, you know. So anyways, that's just what I like to do. So these are from the kit. So I want to use those as guard pages. And then this is just another botanical book that I have. I can't remember the name of it. Wildflowers of America, it's called. Anyway, so this is, the pages were actually wider by about like 3 inches. And so I just trimmed them down to the height of my book, folded them almost in half. And then I folded that extra in. Okay. So this is going to be one guard page. And then there's another set of those where I didn't fold the pages in. I just trimmed them off. Okay. So these are just, and it's nice heavyweight book paper. So that's going to be another guard page. So I have 2 guard pages made with this, probably 2 made with this, with it from the kit, and then 1 that is made from scrapbook paper that is actually cardstock paper. Okay. So at least 1 guard page made from this. So okay, so how does that sound? Just, you know, this is just kind of a quick video just to sort of show you what I do to kind of keep myself organized and make sure that I get a good variety in each journal when I'm doing multiples, you know. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to deal these out in like a deck of cards. And what I'll do is I'll deal out, okay, I'm going to see how I can explain this, what my process is. So I can't really do it right this second because you guys won't be able to see, and I don't have enough room on my desk at the moment. So what I'm going to do is deal these out into piles on my desk. Okay, so I'm definitely doing 16 journals. I'm gonna deal out, I think, enough for 20 though. So I'm gonna do 20 stacks on my desk. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll start with my guard papers or my guard pages. So I'll deal out all the guard pages. So I'll wind up with a stack of 5, you know, pages that I'm using on the outsides of my signatures in each pile. Okay. And then I will go through each one of these stacks and deal them all out by like type. Okay. So I'll go through all of the like ledger, grid paper, line papers. Okay. I'll do all of those because I want them to stay in the same location in each pile, right? Then I'll do all of the plain papers, okay? And then I'll do all of the like pattern papers, and then I'll do the pocket pages, okay? So then when I get all of everything all sorted out, all dealt out like cards, then I'll have these stacks where it'll be like the 5 guard pages and then all of the, you know, lined and grid papers and then the pattern papers and stuff. So then I will take that and deal that out into 5 piles because that's how many signatures I have. I'll deal that out into 5 piles. Okay, so each pile then is going to have the same disbursement of the different types of pages, right? Then I will put them together into a signature where I actually like slide them into each other. And I'll make another video sort of showing you guys how I do that. I just can't do it right this second. But anyways, so I will keep you guys I'll probably wind up doing another video. I just need to clear off space on my desk and kind of do the sorting out, and then I'll come back and make another video. I want to also just kind of talk to you about the tags that I've made and kind of where I feel like I want to be as far as tags and ephemera and stuff like that I want to include in the journals. Because I want to just do some like really simple tags and stuff with some cardstock that I've got, just and some like file folders and things like that. So kind of mass produce some of that sort of stuff too. So anyway, so I'm going to sign off, but yeah, so I hope that is sort of helpful if you are, you know, trying to make multiples of journals. So anyway, I got a couple I have some questions still that I want to answer. So I will actually find my list of questions and I'll try to answer them on the next video. Okay. Thanks for watching, you guys. Love you. Bye for now.